So this is an Elddis Supreme 840, just going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. In front of the van you've got your jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake. We'll demonstrate these to you in person here on site. In the front locker we have two gas bottle tie downs with a gas regulator changeover valve on the bulkhead. So you'll notice this valve here actually turns. It's got an arrow at the moment pointing this way. However, I can turn it round and I can point to this side. So you can actually have two gas pipes connected at any point to the caravan and to two gas bottles in the front. When you turn the gas bottle on, this will go green in here. If it runs out of gas, it will go red as it is now. Then you've got your pipe work running across to your barbecue gas point on the outside of the van. In the front locker, you'll find your motor mover engagement bar. Coming down the side of the caravan, you've got your two wind down legs, one on either side of the front to stabilise the caravan while it's on site. You'd never lift the caravan with these legs as you potentially damage the floor of the caravan. You've then got your water pump connection on the outside of the van, which you pull out or push into the side of the caravan. You use the cover here to lock it in place. Then you've got the pickup pipe or the pump that drops down inside the act roll. You need to make sure that it's fully submersed in water before turning the pump on, as if not you can draw air up inside the van. You've then got your leisure battery put on here to demonstrate everything is working, and we'll use that to demonstrate the motor mover. And you've got your mains power lead coming in from the power on site. We'll torque the wheel nuts before you leave site and we'll demonstrate the motor mover, and we'll take you through that in person rather than doing it in the video. The fresh water that goes in the front of the caravan has to come out somewhere, and that's what these two pipes are for down here. When you open these up, you'll see they've got two large diameter holes here, and that is where your grey pipe work goes into for the waste system, or for the waste tank. The back of the caravan, you've got your toilet flush tank at the top here. You'll open this up and you put 3.5 litres of water in and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. Then in the bottom you'll have the toilet waste set. Let me just grab the key for that. The toilet waste tank you simply remove by pulling up the orange handle and pulling it towards you. The orange neck here turns out 90 degrees so you can tip the waste away. The grey cap is a measure for your pink and your blue fluid. On the back of the van you've got an orange pressure relief button, so when you're tipping the waste away it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. On the back of the caravan on either side, haven't currently got them down, but when you kept the arrive on site, you'll see the two wind down legs at the back down, so it stabilises the caravan while it's on site. Behind the ladder there, the guys are just cleaning the van at the moment, you'll find a storage locker for underneath the bed at the rear of the caravan. You'll then find your two fridge vents. Two fridge vents are very simply there to allow hot air at the back of the fridge unit and to take some cool air in. Behind the top one, you'll also find a gas floof when the fridge is running on gas. Come further down the front of the van. You've got a vent so the heating can come out to your awning should you wish it to. So you slide this up and then you'll be able to turn the cap round inside there to allow the heat out. You've then got storage for underneath your front seating area, as you can see here. And at front you've got your barbecue gas point. Going onto the inside of the caravan now, we're going to demonstrate how the heating, hot water systems, the fridge, etc. work. First thing I'm just going to show you is the bed made up. So these cushions here would actually normally be on here, but at the moment just got them there so I can show you where the water drain down is. But that is essentially how the bed would set up inside of the caravan. The table pushes down so it locks in place for when you're making the bed up on the inside of the van. By the time you arrive it'll be back to a normal seating area, and we'll show you how so it's all set up as it should be for when you're using the van during the day. Again, I'll show you how the front bed works as well as we get further around to it. First thing I want to show you is where the trip switches are for the caravan. Now in this cupboard down on the right hand side underneath the seating area, you will find your 240 trip switches at the top here. A good way of testing to see whether you have power coming into the caravan is by hitting the test switch here. If this switch drops down, it means there is mains power coming into the caravan from the site you're on. If it doesn't drop down, it means there is no mains power coming to the van. You've then got your sockets, your heater, water system, etc., and your 12 volt fuses across the bottom, and they're all individually marked across the top here and along the bottom for what the fuse is for, and then what amp fuse should be in it. First thing you need to make sure, the next thing that you're going to need to make sure is done, is you're going to come underneath this seat and make sure the yellow drain down valve is pointing towards the pipework. If that yellow valve is pointing towards, pointing across this way, for instance, then it means that the water system, when you try filling it, will drain straight out onto the floor underneath the van. But as it is at the moment, it means you can fill the water system up and it will keep the water in the system. So once that yellow valve is in the right hand position, as it is now, you come over to your control panel. Turn on your control panel. So you've got your master power switch on the end here. You've got your interior lights for the caravan, and then your awning light for the outside at the top here. And then just going to turn the pump off for a second. Then we're going to come back over to all the taps on board the caravan. We're going to open all the taps up on the hot side of the water system. Once these taps are turned on, or all these taps are open, you come back to the control panel, just to the left of the door as you walk in, when it clears up, and we hit the water pump button. That will then start allowing the water pump to run. What this will do is, it will fill the hot water tank up on board the caravan, and then once you've got water running out of every tap on the hot side of the water system, you can shut all of the taps back off. Initially when you turn it on, it's going to spit and splatter slightly, just due to the fact it's going to have air in the system. But like I said, on the outside of the van, you do need to make sure that pump is completely submerged in water before you turn the pump on. If not, it will draw all that air up inside the caravan. Once that water system is full, you can actually start heating the water on board the van. So that's where we come back to this control panel, just on the left hand side as we walk into the door. Hit the water temperature icon, or the water icon on the right hand side here. You've got Eco, 3.3 amps, frost protection, which I advise you read the manual for, and then you've got your boost just here for the water system. So for a mains powered site and you want the water heater to warm up, very simply select your 3.3 amps, and if you want it on the Eco mode, so it just ticks over nice and slowly, you can set the Eco. If it's on the 3.3 amps, it'll just warm up to a preset temperature, as it would on the Eco, but the Eco will be a lot lower and it will use less power. If you want to boost the water system while you're showering on board the caravan, you can hit the 6.5 amp here. It will depend on what caravan site you're on to what you can set each of these to, but if you ask on your arrival on your holiday to the site office, then they'll advise you of what you can set each heating and hot water setting to. If you want to boost the water system on gas, you also got the gas option. You need to have the gas turned on. It will self-ignite on gas, and it will boost for the preset time, as you can see on the control panel. If you want to turn the boost off, turn it back off, and it will automatically turn the water systems back off. Go back into the options again, and then you've got your heating on the top left-hand side here. Now again, you've got the different options coming down the side. These are all preset temperatures or preset power sources. So you can select which power source you want to use depending on what site you're on. Here on site, we're just going to use 3.3 amps. And then you can control the temperature inside of the caravan by going minus or plus, as you can see here, to set the temperature internally on the caravan. If you want to turn the heating off completely, but leave it turned on in the sense of having a power source on the side of it, just turn it all the way down to the 5 degrees, and that'll be your heating and hot water turned off. If you want to turn on the blown air fans, you can also do that by hitting the fan symbol. And if you want to use the heating on gas, you press the gas symbol. Again, it will self-ignite. If it fails to ignite, that icon will go red. The same, I should have said that actually, sorry, the same as the one here would if it failed to ignite on gas. Turn the heating off now. 2 symbols you see here. Again, you've got frost protection, which again, I do advise you read the manual for. And then you've got nighttime settings here, so you can set timers for your heating and hot water systems. At the bottom of the control panel, you just got the timer icon, which is essentially for the timers on board the caravan. And then you've got the amount of power on the 12-volt battery and the amount of power being drawn by the heating and hot water systems just here. So that is your heating and hot water and how to fill the water system up. You've seen your 240 trip switches and the 12-volt fuses. Next up, we're going to go to the fridge. Just squeezing down the side of the bed. To operate the fridge, it's very simple to do. You've got a power button just here. You've got your option to run gas. If the fridge fails to ignite on gas, what it's going to do is it's going to flash the blue flame symbol here and also the red warning triangle on the right hand side. You can control the temperature of the fridge on gas or mains by hitting the thermometer button just here. And the more bars you have lit up, the colder the fridge will be. 240 mains, again, very simple to use if you're on a mains powered site. Turn the fridge on, hit the mains button, and it will operate the fridge on the mains power. If you're towing down the road and you want to use the fridge as a cool box, it will only work if you've got the correct connections on your car though, coming through to the caravan, or the correct plugs on the car. You can hit the 12-volt mode and essentially the fridge will work as a cool box. Again, if it fails, it will flash the blue light here and the red warning triangle, very much the same as it would do on the gas if it failed to ignite. Turn the fridge off, press and hold the power button, and it will turn the power back off. Microwave, again, very similar to a household microwave, no difference at all there. And again, that is very similar for the hob, grill and oven. You would need to make sure the gas bottle is turned on in the front if you're using the gas. And the 240 electric ring at the back will only work when you're on a mains powered site. It will not work if you are off grid. Toilet system in the bathroom, again, very simple to use. Electric flush on the toilet here. Toilet full indicator light, which will illuminate red when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. The toilet seat itself actually turns for your convenience, as you can see here. However, when you're removing the toilet waste cassette from underneath the van, you need to make sure the toilet is in the straight on position. And then down the bottom, you have the grey waste handle here, which needs to be in the open position to allow the waste into the cassette under the van. And when you're removing the toilet waste cassette, it needs to be in the central position. Last thing I'm going to show you is the bed at the front of the caravan. Very simple to use. Essentially, all you're going to need to do is pull this rail out from the front. Lock it into position, as you can see, and that is the bed slats made up. You'll then drop all the cushions from the sides here down into the centre to make the bed up itself. Do advise though, when you're using the bed, to turn this hump section of the bed out to the outside of the caravan, so it doesn't come underneath your back when you're laying in bed. And then the bed slats, again, very simply push back in and tuck away. Like I said, when you see the caravan, all the cushions will be down in place, the same as the bed will be dismantled. Thank you very much for watching. As I said, this is the Elddis Supreme 840. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate to ask. We'll be more than happy to help. We appreciate your business and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon. Thank you again. Bye-bye.